Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I hope you are all good. It's been quite a while since I last did a review or unboxing video, and this week I purchased the Logitech G502 Hero gaming mouse, which is supposedly the #1 best-selling gaming mouse in the world. First things first, I can tell you straight away that even if I really like this mouse, I will definitely be sending it back to Amazon tomorrow. And the reason for that is basically when I ordered this mouse 2 days ago, it was priced at around £55, which was down from £80. My personal preference was actually for the limited edition white version, but this was only available at full price just 2 days ago. Today when I logged on to check current prices for this video, I saw that the limited edition white version had been massively reduced down to £39.99, and so is currently around £15 cheaper than the one I purchased. Amazon are usually really good with returns, so I don't think I'll have any problems there, and I'm looking forward to getting my hands on the sexy limited edition white version instead. Just a quick note to say that after I made the first draft of this video, I did go ahead and order the white version too, so be sure to watch this video all the way to the end where I'll compare the two versions side by side. That being said, let's get stuck in here and see what we've got. First things first, it's a very nice matte package. A nice foil embossed branding there too, which looks great. If we take a look at the back and have a look at some of the listed features here. So we've got next generation Hero sensor, delivers precision tracking and up to 16,000 DPI with zero smoothing, filtering or acceleration. So what does that mean? Well, DPI is it stands for dots per inch or dots per linear inch, and is essentially how many pixels your cursor will move per inch you move your mouse across your mouse mat. So the higher the DPI rating, the more sensitive or precise your mouse movements will be. Smoothing, so this features zero smoothing. Now, some mice use what's called smoothing, and that's where the mouse will try to predict the user's input movements, which can be useful in some instances, maybe graphic design or drawing, but in gaming, any form of smoothing will distort your input unnaturally. So we don't want any smoothing, and filtering essentially does the same thing. Acceleration will basically change the speed at which your cursor moves depending on the speed at which you move your mouse. So again, for gaming, this is not very good as it artificially alters your movement based on what it thinks you want to do rather than the exact and precise movements that you're actually making. We've got 11 programmable buttons, which is great. My current mouse, which is just a very cheap, unbranded gaming mouse, only has 5. I do a lot of voiceover work and audio production, so having even more shortcuts and controls for editing is going to be really useful. Hyperfast scroll wheel will give you customizable control over your gameplay, so very customizable. That looks great. A range up to 5 3.6 gram weights for personalized weight and balance configuration. So I've never really been fussed about mouse weight before, so I'm looking forward to trying out some combinations to see how it feels and what works best for me. You can see these weights here in the picture. The design of them is really cool. I know it's just an aesthetic thing, but it does look really good. So looking forward to having a little play around with the different weights there to see how that feels. Last but not least, we've got the Logitech G LightSync technology. So this is actually really cool. You have over 16.8 million colors to choose from, I believe. And these can be synced to specific games or applications, which is really cool. I already have the Logitech G213 gaming keyboard, which also has the LightSync software. And I find it really useful for a number of reasons. I have a desktop PC, which I use for gaming and editing, and a media laptop I use for work and recording voiceover, as it's completely silent. My mouse and keyboard, an external hard drive, etc. are all plugged into a USB hub, so I can switch between them all at the press of a button. So I have it currently set so that my keyboard light's set to blue to match the laptop branding when connected to that, and set to orange to match my desktop PC case when it's controlling that. So as I switch between the two quite frequently throughout the day, it's really useful to quickly see at a glance which device they are connected to. So that's pretty much it for the box. There are some additional features listed here. We're not going to worry too much about all of this real technical stuff here. So let's dive straight in and see what we've got inside. So packaged very well. Nice thick plastic. Not great for the environment, but we'll keep this nice and protected. And wow, that's got quite a bit of weight to it already, and I don't know if that has got... This feels like it's the extra weight here. But already this feels a lot more weightier than my existing mouse. Certainly feels very premium. Again, a nice sort of matte finish there rather than the cheap plastic finish I currently have on my current model. So this looks and feels really good so far. Oh wow, look at that. I don't know whether I like that. I mean, I know it says hyper fast, but I've just spun that once. That thing's still spinning. That's not going to stop. So yeah, I'm used to a scroll wheel having little clicks between each. But I mean, you can spin that and that just keeps going. I don't know whether when I plug that in, there will be some resistance there, because that doesn't really feel right. Not too sure about that, but we'll let that keep spinning for now. We've got 1, 2. That's a 3. I don't think that's a left and right. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, I'm going to get it plugged in and we'll do some tests and see how it feels, see how it looks. But first impressions are actually really, really good. As I said before, I will be sending this back because I really, really like the look of the limited edition white version. Although, having seen this now, it does look very sleek, very nice, and very premium. And the weight's great as well. Let's take a quick look at the weights here. So this is a nice little... it looks like it's just cardboard, but it is a nice plastic little case here to store all the weights in. So these are our little 3.6 gram weights. So I'm not going to worry about getting them out for now. We'll try that a little bit later on, but yeah, very nice little case to keep those in. What else do we get in the box? Let's take a look. Not a lot else actually. So some additional packaging. What have we got? Well, that's extremely useful. We've got a quick start guide and safety, compliance and warranty information. Pretty standard stuff. It is just the mouse and the little weight case that we've got inside here, which is pretty good. Wait, stop, I'm adding this in last minute. I didn't see it when I was recording the video, but I have just found there is a little Logitech sticker inside and just a little booklet thing showing you the other little bits and pieces you can get. So I just wanted to point out, I've just figured out why this wheel seems to scroll forever and ever and ever. And I believe that's what it's referring to when it says hyper fast scroll wheel. I mean, that is, as you can see, that's insanely fast. It just keeps on spinning. And it's basically this little button here. So if you press that in, you've then got your little notches, your sort of standard scroll wheel. So I assume this is the hyper fast, where you can literally spin up that. I'm very intrigued to see what that will do in game, whether that's just going to cycle weapons at light speed, or whether it won't actually detect any input there. I'm not too sure how that's going to go, but again, that'll be interesting to see what happens. So I've just got it plugged in now, and I haven't got my mouse mat here at the moment. I'm just using a normal desk, and already, though, this feels fantastic. It literally feels like it's gliding across this desk. I haven't put any of the weights in yet, but already that feels really, really nice and smooth. That feels fantastic, and the weight to it is really, really good as well. As a comparison, I've got what is now my old gaming mouse here, which is just a cheap CLS little gaming mouse that I got for probably around £10. But there's a lot of drag with my existing one, but this one here literally just glides across. And the weight feels so nice in my hand. That feels really nice. And actually the shape of that fits really nicely into my hand. I don't have particularly big hands, and that feels really, really comfortable. Again, my existing one, which is not very ergonomically designed, is quite bulky and doesn't really fit my hand shape very well. But this feels fantastic. It fits really nicely. The weight on that is great as well. Let's take a look at the software and see if we can program some colors in. So once you're inside the G-Hub software, this is the software that you'll need to customize your devices. It'll show you any compatible devices that you've got connected. We're going to go into our mouse here and have a look at the customization options. You've got two lighting options. First of all, you've got the primary lighting, which is this one here, and then the logo lighting, which is this one here. If we go into our logo lighting, the first thing you can have a look at is the lighting effect. This is currently set to breathing. You can change the rate at which that breathing occurs. You can slow that right down, but let's leave it in the middle for now. And you've got over 16 million colors to choose from. So you can be very, very specific with your coloring. Choose whichever color you like. And then you've got the primary option as well, which are these bars here. These will also show you which DPI setting you're currently set to. So as you press the DPI button, this one here, these will light up 1, 2 or 3 depending on which setting you've got selected. But you can also customize the lighting for this as well. This looks absolutely terrible, I know, but it's just a very quick demonstration to show you what you can do and the level of customization. If you go into effects, you can see you can have your lighting fixed. You can cycle it between different colors. You've got the breathing option, which we're currently on. You can even use screen samplers and audio visualizers as well if you want to get really technical. We're not going to go into any of that now. That's a little bit too complicated for this very short review, but there are plenty of customization options available to you. You've also got assignments here, so you can assign your buttons to do multiple tasks. Again, there's a whole raft of stuff here that we're not going to go into. And then you've got the sensitivity options as well. Again, we're not going to play around with this for now, but hopefully this gives you a good idea of the customization options that are available. I have to show you this. So the first thing I wanted to test was that crazy scroll wheel. You saw how when I took it out of the box and gave it a little spin, that thing just went on forever. And I was really excited to see what happens when you're actually scrolling through something with it. So I'm plugged in now, and I've just created this little Word document just to show you guys as a little test. This is a 50-page document to 28,000 words, right? And this is without the turbo light speed button pressed. This is your standard scrolling. You can hear it if I bring it up to the mouse. You can hear every click with every little notch that is spun. And even if I spin very fast, this is the sort of speed that you'll scroll through a document or whatever you're scrolling through as a standard. Now, if I go back to the top and if I press this badass super button, whatever it's called, and if I give this a little spin now, you watch how fast it will scroll through this document. That is insane. That is so good. That is so good. I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to bring the mouse up to the microphone because it even sounds cool. You can just hear it spinning. There's so much more spin left in it. This is going to be really, really useful for me. I end up going through a lot of documents, and scrolling in general is a bit of a pain when you've got huge documents you need to be scrolling through, but also for editing audio and things like that, there's a lot of zooming in and zooming out. And to be able to just literally go and scroll in and out of things or up and down at that sort of speed is so cool. It's awesome. And I'm really, really excited to see what happens when we play a game with this. Like, if you're scrolling through weapons, are they going to cycle like 400 weapons a second or something crazy like that? I'm really excited to find out. But I just wanted to make this little test just to show you that, because that is a really, really cool feature. That alone is worth the £50 that I paid for this. For the final test, I tried out a few games to see how the world's best-selling mouse compared with my previous cheap and unbranded model. And while it felt really nice to play with, I think the additional weight and extra sensitivity will take some time to get used to. Also, while the idea of 11 programmable buttons sounds great, that's a lot of additional key binding to remember and to get used to. So again, that's going to take some time. I did, however, get to find out what happens when you spin that crazy scroll wheel in-game. Yep, funny but not helpful at all for cycling weapons. And a great way to get yourself killed. Overall, I'm really pleased with the mouse. It's a nice addition to my setup and now matches my keyboard. I think once I'm used to the new weight and feel of the mouse, it'll definitely be a far superior piece of kit. Would I recommend this at its full RRP of £80, which is just over $100 in US? Maybe not, but for the reduced price of £56 that I paid, I am very, very happy. And what's even better is that the limited edition white version is currently even cheaper at 50% off the normal price. So at $39.99, it's an absolute bargain. So just before I finish, I did go ahead and order the special edition white version, and before I send the original one back, I thought I'd show a few side-by-side comparison shots so you can see how they compare. I think it has a lot more personality to it than the standard black version, and the white just really helps to define each section of the mouse. It also helps it to stand out a little more, particularly if you game with the lights down or use it on a jet black mouse mat. But the fact that I was able to get what is essentially a special edition of the best-selling gaming mouse in the world for under £40 is incredible. So if you're thinking of going for the G502 Hero either in black or white, know that it has been reduced to as low as £40 or around $50 US. So if you're paying any more than that for it, then you're not getting the best deal that's been available. That being said, with the spec and build quality as good as with this mouse, if you can pick one up for yourself at under £60, then I'd still consider that a fantastic deal. Thank you very much for watching. If you found this review useful, please do give the video a like and subscribe to my channel for more tech, gaming, VR and pop culture content. I'll see you next time.